Hello, this is Aurora Native Garden, Zone 5B, and I am cutting down invasives. Yay! So my father-in-law and husband had helped me cut down what used to be over there, a Manitoba Maple. So you can see some of its remnants are here. Back here, the other project that I've been working on is cutting down the burning bush. So a lot of it's chopped up now. Just have to clean up the yard, and hopefully we'll give a chance to the Highbush Cranberry. Less root competition, hopefully more sun, let it grow nice and tall and happy. That has been a project I've wanted to do for a few years now, and with the help of my father-in-law, we're able to do so. I'll have to keep on top of some of the sprouts that come, maybe apply some vinegar on it or something like that. But yeah, it's gone. Yay, finally. So hopefully the Highbush Cranberry will be very happy here. And yeah, this is kind of close to my woodland front garden, I guess, side garden. The Manitoba Maple was right there. So it's opened up quite a bit of space. Hopefully I'm looking to maybe plant maybe a spice bush, maybe a witch hazel. We'll see what goes on here, because I'm hoping to plant something where all the ostrich ferns are, hopefully to plant something here now that the spot is gone. But yeah, stay tuned. I haven't bought anything yet, but I'm going to renovate this area a bit. Today I'm going to have to tackle all of this. We also cut down something else. I'll show you in the backyard. You see a bunch of fallen tree branches here. That is because there was once a tree here. It was a small Norway maple. One that my husband and I did not realize was invasive when we first moved into the property. And there was one growing between the fence line of us and our neighbors. So we dug it out and planted it here, thinking that it's a good tree. We didn't know anything. We just looked at it and saw maple leaf shaped leaves and thought, okay, it's probably some type of maple leaf. But not all maple leaves are created the same. This is a Norway maple. Now that we've cut it down, I am going to watch this one. This is a chokecherry. Hopefully it will do well. It's already grown quite a bit since early spring, I think, when we planted the wee little thing here. It was a gift from the squirrels and planted it here. So yesterday, other than trimming, actually cutting back the invasive trees, we gave the Eastern Redbud a bit of a haircut. The foliage down here in the branches were so heavy. I had 1, 2 snap this year. There's a snap there and a snap there, up there higher, because it was too heavy and the wind had taken quite a bit of toll and pulled them out. So we had to cut them back, and then we trimmed a little bit of it so it's not so bottom heavy and the branches aren't so heavy. We also cut back a few of the crossover branches yesterday as well. So some garden maintenance yesterday. So what we had done with all the chopped up branches is we put them there in the back for a brush pile. But we do have a lot of branches, so I put some here to turn it into a branch pile for natural habitat. The rest of them we have put over here behind the compost bin. You can see over there we put some. So a lot of branches, because we did have a couple of the trees that we cut down, but I feel really happy for doing it. It is a bigger project. We needed some special tools from my father-in-law, so he came to help us with that. But yeah, if you have anything that you have to chop down, keep all the branches, keep the leaves. It does give some natural habitat for bugs and for small critters that need a bit of a space to live, kind of like a bug hotel. I do keep them at the edge of the property. That way I'm not really walking through that in case there's ticks and other bugs that I'm not so fond of. But yeah, I would encourage you to do the same. It does create some natural habitat. I also threw in a lot of the redbud leaves for more leaf mulch here. I took out a bunch of the leaves and threw them in. I want to let everybody know the burning bush is considered an actual invasive by the Ontario, I think it's Invasive Plant Council. So is the Norway Maple. They are both on the invasive list. The Manitoba Maple that we cut down is not. It is on the weedy and don't plant list really, because it's actually found natively in certain parts of Ontario, but it's a very, very small percentage. The rest of them are just considered weeds. So that's basically why we had wanted to cut them down. We knew they weren't good. Burning bush and Norway maples you can actually still find in nurseries. It's not on the prohibited banned list of selling, but conservationists really don't want you to plant them. With the burning bush, it can create seeds and berries, which the birds will take, actually poop them out or drop them at different properties. The baby burning bushes are planted, which also creates a big problem when it's in forest areas. Because most people, when they see the burning bush, they look at it and say, oh, it behaves very well in my yard. It doesn't really spread. I'm not getting seeds everywhere. But what they don't realize is it is actually spreading by the birds. With the Norway maple, sorry, I'm just standing in my back property here. But with my neighbor's Norway maple, you can see how huge it actually is. Ours was a baby that we saved actually between fence lines, kind of like this. Between our neighbor, us, not this particular side, on the other side. They are very prolific in self-seeding, and they create baby trees everywhere. So yeah, we didn't know when we first moved in. That's why we planted the other one that we took down in the video. But highly recommend, if you can, remove them off your property. For something as big as this, or the ones that we actually have in our front yard, planted by the city a long time ago, like very, very long time ago. You can see there's still one on our property right there. It has to be cut back every few years because of the power lines and such. But yeah, the cities used to plant them, and they realize now that they're not great trees. They're very fast growing, very dense canopy, and they don't allow for much life under it. And there's no beneficial value to our native wildlife. Nothing specific relies on it. So yeah, just to give you some information on that, they are very majestic trees. They provide a lot of shade, very dense shade, but they do outcompete the rest of the plants under them. Part of the reasons why we had cut them down. Yeah, if you can, try to remove them. If they're that big and they do provide shade for your property, then of course it's more difficult to manage. But don't go planting them like what we did. That's why we didn't feel right to have it still on our property. We want to make sure that the trees that we plant are all beneficial trees to the environment and to our local ecology. So that's it. Thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you learned a lot about some of the invasive trees that we had on our property that we're trying to remove. See you in the next one. Happy gardening.